Test 3. Speaking. Part 1.
In this first part of the exam, I'd like to ask you some general questions about yourself. What kind of music do you like to listen to? Do you ever go to concerts or music festivals? Do you play any instruments yourself? Let's talk about your English studies. Do you enjoy learning another language? How long have you been learning English? Are there any languages you would like to learn?
Test 3. Speaking. Part 2.
I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Here is your topic.
Test 3. Speaking. Part 3.
We've been talking about clothes and fashion. I'd like to discuss this subject with you with some more questions. Is it natural that young people should want to dress differently from their parents? What pressures are there on young people to follow the latest fashion? Are men less concerned about their appearance than women? Is it true that the clothes we wear can make us feel more confident? Is there an age at which people become less interested in keeping up with the latest fashion? Does the fashion industry place undue pressure on young people?
Speaking. Model answers. Test 3. Speaking. Part 1.
In this first part of the exam, I'd like to ask you some general questions about yourself. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I tend to listen to lots of different types of music, but my favourite is alternative music. I like to listen to tracks that you have to work hard to appreciate.
Do you ever go to concerts or music festivals?
I've been to a couple of festivals with my friends. They took place over 2 or 3 days, and we all slept in a tent. It was really good, cooking food over a campfire and staying up late listening to music.
Do you play any instruments yourself?
Unfortunately not. I've often thought about learning to play the guitar, and I've got friends who play who've offered to teach me, so I might take it up one day.
Let's talk about your English studies. Do you enjoy learning another language?
Yes, I do. It's hard work, though, and sometimes I feel like I'm not making progress. But it's also quite exciting when I listen to English or read an English newspaper and find myself understanding most of it.
How long have you been learning English?
For about 2 years. We started learning it at school long before that, but I didn't really take it seriously. However, once I knew I wanted to go to university, I set myself a target of passing an advanced exam.
Are there any languages you would like to learn?
If I had the time and ability, I'd like to learn a few languages. I was watching a man on the internet who could speak something like 10 languages. I might try Chinese next, once I pass my English exams, of course.
Test 3. Speaking. Part 2.
I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Here is your topic.
At first, I couldn't think of what to talk about, as I'm not the type of person that gets excited about clothes. But then I realised I have a coat that I've been wearing for about 2 years. It's a 3/4 length coat. It doesn't quite reach down to my knees. My girlfriend persuaded me to get it when I was going on a trip to Edinburgh and I needed something warm to wear. I'm quite tall, so short jackets don't really suit me. And although I'd never owned a coat like this, she promised me I'd fall in love with it. It's really comfortable and keeps me warm on cold winter days. It's dark grey, and what I really like about it is it goes with almost anything. If I'm dressed casually in jeans and trainers, it looks good, but if I ever need to dress in something smarter, I can wear it over a suit, for example. Now, when do I tend to wear it? Well, I often put it on when I go shopping, but you'll also see me in it if I visit friends or when I go out for the evening. I have to admit, my girlfriend was right. Whenever I go window shopping for clothes now, I'm always on the lookout for similar coats. Unfortunately, I don't think they're as fashionable as they were 2 years ago. You don't see quite so many of them around. Anyway, I suppose it's my favourite item of clothing because it was recommended by someone I care about, and it's something I like now, but would never have chosen it myself.
Test 3. Speaking. Part 3.
We've been talking about clothes and fashion. I'd like to discuss this subject with you with some more questions. Is it natural that young people should want to dress differently from their parents?
Of course, yes. Part of being a teenager is rebelling against what you see as boring adulthood, and fashion is one way of doing that. The problem is that adults nowadays quickly adopt the style of clothes young people wear. So, unless the fashion is outrageous, we all end up looking the same.
What pressures are there on young people to follow the latest fashion?
A lot of pressure. There's the effect of the media and the fashion industry itself. If you go into clothes shops, you can see that they all stock clothes that are in fashion. But, more importantly, there's peer group pressure. People tend to fall into line with their friends and end up wearing the same style as their mates.
Are men less concerned about their appearance than women?
Possibly, yes, but I think this is changing. My dad's generation, and even more so my granddad's generation, weren't that interested in what they wore. When I look at family photos, the men all seem to be wearing similar clothes, but men are much more fashion conscious now.
Is it true that the clothes we wear can make us feel more confident?
Definitely. I think we all have an outfit or an item of clothing we feel good in. It's not just that we think it makes us look good, but that we feel comfortable in it. I have clothes that I like to wear if I have an interview to go to, and other clothes that I'll wear if I'm going out somewhere special.
Is there an age at which people become less interested in keeping up with the latest fashion?
Well, as I said earlier, I think people today are generally more aware of what they look like than previous generations. They say 60 is the new 40, which means people of 60 have the same attitudes that people of 40 had years ago. So perhaps it's only very elderly people who feel free to dress how they want.
Does the fashion industry place undue pressure on young people?
In some ways, certainly girls suffer from this, and not just in terms of clothes. I think it's something that affects boys as well, but girls have the added pressure of having a good figure, having perfect features. That's why plastic surgery is so popular now. Women are under pressure to look just right.